This is Joshua Nation with Whitney Nicole, July 6, 2023. Financial literacy can be biblical literacy. Earlier this week, I shared a blog about how building wealth is a biblical concept. There's much the Word of God has to say about finances and how we steward them. As with all things, intent, means, and obedience are essential in how we go about growing the resources we've been entrusted with.
What I mean by intent is essentially our motive. Why are we doing the thing we're doing? Is it for self? For filling our barns because we don't trust God for provision? Is it to care for and serve the people and missions we've been given? Examine intent. What I mean by means is, how are you going about growing your resources? With integrity or deceit? At the expense of quality or people? And what I mean by obedience is, what has God told you to do? This is primarily why I said financial literacy can be biblical literacy, because sometimes the wisdom of our processes and financial projections are not what God would have us to rely on. He may tell us to do something completely contrary to the sound foolishness of man, and the decision we will have to make is, will we obey? Like when I lost my job and the Lord said I could get another one, or I could live off the money in my bank account. The money I was planning to invest and seek to make into streams of income like a good 30-something-year-old was supposed to do. Yet allowing that money to deplete would afford me something that the money could never offer me: healing. God wanted me to stay home with Him and allow Him to begin healing my wounded heart. I chose Him in my recovery. And I did. I did look mighty foolish in the eyes of man, but I look mighty trusting in the eyes of God. That's what I learned in that 2020 season, that God was and is my security, not anything or anyone else. So, turn to the scriptures. Learn what God has to say about stewarding your money. Study what the analysts, advisors, and strategists have to say. Grow in financial and business acumen. Yet, stay in a posture of readiness and surrender to hear and obey. Because God has a final say in how you multiply and utilize the resources He's given you to manage. He's the source. He's the Lord. Or is He?